I'd like to introduce our very foremost partner from Africa Leadership University, Binusha, the Computer Faculty from Africa Leadership University, to give us the keynote on today's program. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Kayode. Good morning, everyone. So can I share my screen, please?
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone. Good morning again. I hope I am loud and clear to all of you. So I'm Binusha, as Kayode introduced, computer science faculty from African Leadership University. I'll be delivering the keynote for the day. Being an expert in systems programming or operating systems, I'm a tech enthusiast as well, just watching the space of blockchain technology. And here I am, delivering the keynote. So today I'll be talking about how we can, just march towards the digital transformation through blockchain technology. Though it is slow and steady, it may take years to come, but what can we do about it? That will be the focus of the keynote. And just speaking about the collaboration that we have with African Blockchain Institute, I'm really glad that ABI has its presence in Rwanda and a partnership with us, so that our students, right from the year 2 or year 3, they are mastering those skills that is needed for the early adoption of these blockchain technologies. Once they graduate, they'll be out there not being trained, but they will have their entrepreneurship skills being utilized in the blockchain industry. Okay, having said that, let me just move to the agenda that I have for my keynote speech for 20 minutes. So I will briefly go through these points, because as I said, I know I'm a tech enthusiast and I am watching the space as I do my research in the background. And what is my overview on the blockchain industry and its relevance in Rwanda and in the continent and across the world, and what we should be doing. So first one will be the power of blockchain. You being the blockchain experts, I need not go through what blockchain is all about. But this is the overview of why this is so powerful, why this is being hyped. It is because of the decentralization, the distributed ledger technology, the cryptographic security, the hashing that is being used, the immutable transactions. That is my favorite part, because currently, even though it is digitized and it is centralized, and there is by very good means that everybody can come and alter your records. That is not possible with having various domains and having transactions there, and the attraction of the mutual consensus agreement. So all the parties participating in this blockchain transactions have to agree on adding or removing information from the blockchain. So this is what makes it powerful and what makes it different from the current centralized, digitized domains. Moving to the second attraction, right? When a normal person who is not serious, who is not techie, is asked about, do you know what is a blockchain? They may not understand, but the first thing that all of us might end up telling them is that, hey, imagine you're transferring something from A to B, some amount of money, and what you do is you log, even though it is digitized, what we do nowadays is like, we log into our net banking, we log into our mobile banking, we transfer, but who has to approve? There is a central agent, right? And there has been talk about the role of central banks in this, and this is from the finance industry, right? But in blockchain, what that attracts most is that we don't have that trusted third party in the middleman there. That is completely cancelled out, and you can have a peer-to-peer transaction being recorded in the blockchain ledgers. But again, maybe 4 years or 5 years back, if I was asked about blockchain, I would have confused blockchain with Bitcoin, because that was the popularity. But this blockchain technology is beyond cryptocurrencies, is what all techies have to understand, though they are not from the blockchain industry or want to enter the industry. So these are some of the domains that I wanted to highlight, where digital transformation can take place and which are beyond cryptocurrencies, beyond finance, or beyond digital coins or crypto coins. The first one, I being from the education sector, I have put education at the first. How about our certificates, even at ALU? Why can't we think about providing certifications or the degree certificates using the blockchain technology in background, right? We have to be pioneers in that, and we are setting role models like that. And as well, I being a master's in some education, I'm internationally, working internationally. I being from India, I'm coming to Rwanda. There are certain limitations in verifying what is the educational background that I'm coming from. And the degree that I get from an Indian university may not be the same from an African university. So there is a difficulty in verifying the authenticity of the international degree certificates. So why not have it based on blockchain? And that will help us, verifying the authenticity of those educational degree certificates. That is something to think about. I have not yet, but partnering with ABI, you can in future think about this. Coming to the next category, the hot topic nowadays, like the vaccine supply chain. So we know various countries are manufacturing vaccines, but it becomes difficult to verify the vaccines and the source of it. And if I'm getting a vaccine, if I'm getting Pfizer or Moderna, I want to know. I want to verify the source of that vaccine, because there has been reports that the vaccines in production may not be genuine, or not. People are not sure, right? There are trust issues with the current supply chain, and blockchain can help solve that. The another one is the health record management system. Every hospital being an individual entity and not really tied to the governance part, because it can be a private hospital. And why don't keep the patient health records in a blockchain? That will help you to actually historically analyze the data, and not having a centralized database for that, as that is right now. Next is the travel and transportation. I read an interesting article about, we all do international travels, and what we have to do is having to check in at every airline counter, have your identity checked, have your bags checked at every gate that you go in. So why not avoid it? Or you have connection flights. Anytime you want to go to the next airport, you need to go through these check-ins every time. So why not streamline it using blockchain? Right? Something to think about. I'm sure the enthusiasts out there, the students out there, have already thought about their hackathon topics, and maybe it may be related to all these. And next one is the asset management, the real estate being the popular, the land disputes. Sometimes people or the government authorities may not be able to verify the historical transactions done on a particular property, and to evaluate that land dispute and settle it. So blockchain is again another solution for that. And coming towards the end is e-governance. At times, all these sectors can be tied to e-governance when it is directly related to government institutions. And in my opinion, with all the policymakers and government, the policymakers watching the space should actually have some proof of concept coming in from all these industries to confidently take it up and apply it in the e-governance, because it largely applies to a wider audience than all these individual sectors. And there are many more. This is not it. I just had space for 5. So there are many more, and you know it. Yeah, and coming back to the successful case stories, I'll start from Rwanda, the mining industry. So we have partnerships with the blockchain industry to comply with the European Union conflict mineral regulation. The other one is the supply chain systems. And this one, I took the example from UAE or the US, where for a customer to actually check, if you're buying a grocery or something, just to check what is the source, from where it came. So Walmart enabled that, and they were able to trace the source of individual mangoes back to the farm in 2.2 seconds. Isn't that interesting? It could be in the form of a QR code being scanned, and you just know from where it came from which farm, which date, when was it reaped, etc. The another diverse one is the e-voting technology. So there has been claims from voters that they have successfully done e-voting, and there are articles or researchers based on that e-voting may not be that's secure in blockchain, but that is up for debate. But these there are many more. Okay, I have just put in from 3 of them from various geos, just to highlight that hey, things are happening, and it is yet to happen. And coming to the favorite slide of mine for today, is that change is constant, be it blockchain, be it any other tech coming in. But if there is a resistance, I would say deal with the resistance. And this is my overview of how to deal with resistance. It's about, blockchain is a very good technology. It has its own power. It has its own disadvantages in terms of scalability, or the power, or the energy, the level of energy consumption for actually the mining part. But what we should be doing is find relevant problems that blockchain can help solve, as in the domains that I was explaining. And the second one is analyze the need of hour, how to gain the popularity in blockchain technology. Speaking of COVID, right? We can talk about how blockchain technology helped support any governments or any kind of sectors to deal with the COVID-19 restrictions, or the vaccination supply chain, whatever it is, right? So if we have a successful solution that is based on blockchain, and it is going to help people in these tough times, then that is where we can gain trust and momentum, and that can be a proof of concept by itself. So it's about creating more tangible blockchain success stories. And I would say that I read about blockchain being disruptive, not disruptive, but I would say that it is not disruptive. But what, as a community, we should try to do is that we should prove that it is interoperable. Okay, thank you. So I was saying that in my opinion, blockchain is not disruptive. But the only thing is that we have to prove to the world, to the governments, that it can be interoperable with the current digitized models. So just create small scale role models for the policymakers, just to vision the power of blockchain. And this was my favorite slide of the day. I hope you enjoyed. You being the blockchain experts, and I being a tech enthusiast, I was just trying to create that connection. And thank you so much for listening to me, and all the best, Coyote and team and Freetons. I hope and I wish to see the finale competition topics, and very exciting and waiting forward. Thank you.